See something you like on the show? Did you know that we have links to the products used on the show in the description? If you're watching on YouTube, look below the video. Click the More button, and you'll find links to products used in the show, as well as more information on what you'll learn in this episode. On Facebook, click on the video that you are interested in. Look at the top right of the video and you'll find the description. If there is more to read below the viewable description, click See More to view the full description and pertinent links. There's some pretty helpful info in there. Now you know. Happy sewing!
Hi there! We want your girlfriend's experience to be the best it can be. Did you know that you can increase the picture quality on YouTube? Let's change the quality to 4K. That's super clear, ultra high definition video. I'll walk you through it step by step. Move your mouse over the video or tap the screen if you're on a phone or tablet, and you'll see some buttons appear. On a computer, click the little gear icon in the bottom right corner of the video. In the YouTube app for phone or tablet, tap the little gear icon in the top corner of the video. Next, click or tap the button that says Quality. This shows you the video options. Look for the one that says 2160p 4K and select it. That's the highest quality, nice and sharp. Watching in 4K uses more of your internet bandwidth and can potentially slow your connection. If you are having issues with your video, you can always go back and choose a lower video quality. That's it. Now you're watching in the best quality possible.
Everyone.
Hello.
Welcome, Jacki.
Yes, here we are.
Here we are. Welcome to all of you. Are we so excited for today?
I have been so giddy this morning.
Yes, just thinking about it.
Reminiscing and thinking about things. It's been great.
So for those of you who are just joining us and you're going, what is this all about? Well, today's show, we are going to be doing our book club. And the book that we just read was
Theo of Golden.
Theo of Golden. Cannot wait to get into it. And then, of course, share a little bit of inspiration behind the project of the book. So we'll be back in just a moment. Welcome to Three Things Live. Let's go. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Three Things Live. I'm Kris here at my girlfriend's quilt shop, and I'm so thrilled to be able to, start this show off. And we are starting off with a bang because we are talking about the book club choice that we had this quarter, and that is called Theo of Golden by Alan Levi. And I have my friends Jacki and Allison here to help discuss this book.
Yay.
My goodness.
This is so
Right.
exciting.
This was a winner, right?
Yes, this was a winner.
More than a winner.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it just really went right on top
Oh,
in
my
my
goodness.
book.
Yeah.
It's one of those books that stays with you. I
Yes.
read this book way before Christmas, and then I gave it to everybody at Christmas time that I know, and
Yep.
slowly they've been starting to read it and then coming back with, in
Yes.
fact, I don't know anyone that doesn't gain some
Yes.
insight from this book.
Yeah,
I agree.
You know, Renelle shares in the comments it's the best book that she's read in a long time.
Right.
Yeah.
And someone else mentioned in the comments that the ending was a surprise to her. Angie, you're not kidding.
I think
But
it was to everyone.
I decided we are not going to talk about the ending
Right.
today.
Yeah.
Right.
Because there's just one of those things that I am like, no, we can't talk about the ending, because if you haven't read it yet, you've got to read it.
Right.
Right.
It will
And,
stop
and
you
I don't
in
want to
your tracks.
yourself
spoil
a
it
favor.
for you.
Yeah.
Yes, do
I don't wanna
yourself a
spoil it.
favor.
So definitely, we won't talk about the ending, but we will talk about the book
guts.
in
We gotta
itself.
talk about
the
the
guts of it. Exactly. So Cheryl asked, "How do you join the club?" You know what? It's nothing you join.
We just call it a club.
Yeah.
It's just a discussion. We just
Yes.
choose one of our favorite books from
Once a quarter.
and we share it out with you. Some, you may love it, you may hate it, it may resonate, it may not,
Yeah.
but it's just something that resonated with one of us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then we call it a club because it's just the day
It's
that we're
kind
going
of
to
the
talk
day.
about it.
Exactly.
Right.
And the really fun thing about this is, because this really is a lifestyle show for quilters and creators out there, you know, we thought, why not find the creative moments in everything that we do? And so whether we're cooking or reading or crafting, whatever it might be, just daily living is what we talk about here on Three Things Live. But we always tie it back to our roots, which
Right.
is quilting and
Right.
creativity, right?
Right.
Yes.
And so once a quarter, this is what we do. We choose a book, we discuss it during theme number 1, and then during theme number 2, we share a project that was inspired by the book. So I'm very excited about that.
Yes.
So whether you have read the book or not, we hope you'll stick around with us, because perhaps our discussion will get you excited about reading this book for yourself, or even being inspired by the project that we share with you today. So, are you ready to discuss, ladies?
I am ready to discuss.
All
And, you know,
right.
I have to say, it is hard to find a book
Yes.
that is clean,
Yes.
is non-controversial,
Right.
Yes.
is appropriate for all age levels. I mean,
Yes.
you know, it is really hard. So
It is. I think we did okay this time.
I think we did too.
But you never know. You
Right.
never know. So we would love to also hear from you at home in the comments. Let us know as we discuss these themes. I'll continue to look at the comments and see if there's any questions or thoughts that come up that resonate for you as well, because we'd love to hear those as
Right.
well. So it's not just the three of us talking, it's
It's
all
all
of
of
us.
us.
All
Right.
of us
Yes.
talking.
Yes.
All right.
even if you just give us a thumbs up or a
Yes.
heart when we're
Right.
talking about something
Yeah.
that you're like, yes, I thought that too.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right,
Because
guys.
there's so much you could say about this.
Oh my goodness,
I
there's a
think-
lot of different directions we could go.
Oh, very much. so.
Yeah. Okay. So let's start off with. Oh my goodness. All right. How about this? Is there a favorite quote that you have? We talked about that a little bit earlier. And we'd love to hear in the comments as well from you if there was a favorite quote that stood out to you. You know, oftentimes when I read a novel, I will actually take a highlighter, and if there's something that really stands out to me, I'll share it. So,
Yeah, that's-
Allison,
That's great.
As you can
What about
see, I
for
brought
you?
my book today.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit marked up.
Yeah.
I don't. Okay, I'm a book snob. And so I hate to share a book with my husband because he always cracks the binding and eats on the pages. So sometimes, I have to hide it. But I underline mine with pencil because I don't want the highlighter to bleed through.
Oh, okay.
That's a good point.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, there are a few that are my favorite, and I'm going to just say one of them. I was an English major in college.
Yeah.
So technical writing, English, and I have been a reader my whole life. And so I love this part where Theo of Golden is talking, he is actually talking to the reporter. Do you remember when he's talking about the reporter and she gets wind of him and she wants to,
Yeah.
so she wants to interview him.
Yeah.
And he does not want to be interviewed.
No,
Right.
he does not.
He doesn't. And it's not because he is afraid of being interviewed or anything like that, but he just doesn't want that. And I love the part where he says, the best portion of a good person's life is the little nameless, unremembered acts of kindness and love.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so it's not that he is even afraid of sharing what he's doing, but he wants to be remembered for himself and not make a big production of the things
Right.
he's doing.
Right.
You know what's interesting? I guess perhaps maybe I jumped the gun too soon, and maybe we need to give a quick synopsis
Okay.
of what Theo of Golden is because Golden is the name of
Is the
a
city.
Right.
In
Okay,
Georgia,
in
right?
Georgia. Yes. So if anyone is thinking about, what is it that that Golden means, it's the name of a city.
Right.
So this man named Theo, he comes in, he's a total stranger. He doesn't know anyone
No.
Right.
in this city.
And he just happens in this city. And those of us that have grown up in a small town, I think
Yes.
we understand it gets really cliquey in that
Yeah.
small town. And so they're not so apt for strangers.
Right, yeah, not so apt for strangers. And so he decides to come in and he, he comes into this cafe,
Yep.
if you will.
Just goes for
Right.
coffee.
Okay, and so what does he find in this cafe that is different than any other cafe that is out there, Jacki?
Well, it's his coffee.
Yes.
That he loves this coffee. What do they call him? A barista.
Yeah,
right?
a barista.
And he made this coffee just absolutely delightful.
Yes, uh-huh.
And that's what really stood out to him is that he loved that.
Uh-huh.
And I think that really impressed him a lot.
Right.
So.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, but there's something on the walls
Right.
of this
He
cafe.
just finds
Yes,
these
he finds-
hand-sketched portraits.
Yes.
And they're amazing.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
The
he
hand
loves-
sketch portraits. And who are they of?
He doesn't
he
know,
doesn't know
but
who they are.
he wants to find out, and
Right.
he finds out they're just of the regular people of the town.
Yes, people in the community,
Yes.
right?
Right.
Just ordinary people. And they're just up there to as portraits. He doesn't know who sketched them.
Right.
He doesn't
Right.
know anything about them. But his mission, if you will, is he's very interested in details. What we've learned about Theo is
Yes.
he is very interested in details, and it starts even before the pictures, doesn't it, Jacki?
Yes,
He-
it does. He loves everything, like the beauty of the trees,
The
the
grass.
grass. He
Yes.
looks at everything.
He looks at everything.
And that's what I really loved. Is
Uh-huh.
I can just picture in my mind
Uh-huh.
what maybe even like the coffee shop, what it really looks like. You know,
Right.
when you walk in that door.
Yes,
And
yes.
you're like, oh, I think I can picture all of this.
Yes.
And then I can actually picture the town as well.
Yeah,
So-
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, so basically, he's on this mission to. He decides that these pictures are so beautiful
Yeah.
that they should really be given to the person who the picture is about, right?
Right, right.
And so he wants to find out about each of these people, and so he decides to take on this own personal challenge of his, is to find these people and actually gift them the portrait of themselves. So the story kind of goes on to talk about each of these people and how everyone has a story, and indeed they do.
Yeah.
We come across some incredible characters. In fact, I think Alan Levi, who's the author of this book, he does an incredible job of characterization
Yes.
in this novel,
Yes, he
right?
does.
Right.
So we really learn a lot about the different characters. I would like to know from you at home, who was a character that stood out to you and why? What was there some special meaning as you read about that character that really touched your heart? There's so many that it's hard to just name
Yeah.
one. But Allison, what is one character that stood out to you?
Well, I love the first portrait that he gifts, and her name is Mignette. and he finds her portrait. And so he, which is kind of funny because I say that, so he contacts Mignette and says, hey, I'd like you to meet me on this park bench.
Yeah.
Now put yourself in her position. She's a young girl and some old dude is saying, hey,
Yes.
I have something for you and meet me on the park bench, and you know nothing about him. So it just completely cracked it up because she was curious, and her husband's like, well, I'm gonna go with you and I will
Right.
sit across and see what this is all about. But I mean, you know, in this day and age, you don't want to be meeting some guy on the park bench.
Right.
I mean,
It's a
right?
little nerve-wracking,
But
right?
I absolutely loved her story and what it brought out. So that is my favorite character.
Okay, what
Yeah.
about you?
And I loved it too because I really kind of like, well, there was lots of ones that I
Yeah.
did. It was so hard to choose.
Yeah.
I really loved Tony. the
Oh,
book-
Tony.
The
Oh.
bookstore owner.
Yes.
Yeah, and all of his little,
Quirks?
can't remember what they call them. What are they? The penny loafers.
Yeah, the penny loafers.
Penny loafers, that's what they were. But Tony comes across as someone that is really rough around the edges and just kind of obstinate in ways, don't you think?
Yeah, absolutely.
And then he meets Theo and they get this bond. They
Yes.
do the little jarring back and forth, you know,
Yes.
and that. But then when it really came down to it, I think that Tony was really struggling because he was a Vietnam War veteran.
Yeah.
And so I think some things that had happened to him
Yeah.
over there, I think Theo was the one to actually help him come to peace with some of the things that happened. Plus, they loved to talk books with each other. I mean, they had that in common, so they would always have great conversations.
Yes.
But in the end, you know, they just had this bond.
Yeah.
That was just amazing. And I think it helped them both.
And they were completely different from
Yes.
each other.
Right.
Completely different.
Right,
So
yeah.
we got to see the side of Tony that
Yeah.
was a little more, you know, sentimental.
Yes.
I mean, with the wine.
Yes,
And,
yes.
you know, where Theo gave him that wine.
Yes,
and
at the, that was
on
beautiful.
his birthday.
That was
and
beautiful.
remembered his birthday. And
Yes.
I think that was really a big thing for him.
You know, one thing that really struck me about Theo was that the way he would look into people's eyes first as a drawing,
Yeah.
right? And he could see something in each of them that perhaps they didn't see in themselves.
Right.
And then once he met them and he listened to them and he learned their story, then that took on a whole new meaning with the way, not only the way Theo viewed life, but the way the people viewed
Yes.
their lives as well. For me, the character that stood out the most would have to be Ellen.
Yeah.
Ellen.
Ellen.
Can we have a soft spot in our heart for Ellen?
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
just amazing. So Ellen was homeless. She had gone through a really difficult life.
Yes.
And for a good reason. She was suffering from some tremendous mental issues.
Right.
And when you look back at her life, you can see why,
Yeah,
right?
right.
That everything that led up to the moment that they met, there was a purpose and a reason for all of that. So when Ellen goes into the church building and everyone is completely judging her and she kind of freaks out a little bit, who was the one that said, "Come sit by me"?
It was Theo.
It was Theo,
Yeah.
right?
She
It
had
was
to bring
Theo.
her bike, and
And
you know,
she brought
was
her
not
bike.
she was not the lightning bolt, right?
Yes,
was
the
not going to
invention.
get.
Greatest invention, right?
Yeah.
Deborah in the comments, she shares that Ellen pulled at her heartstrings, finding out about the loss of her daughter broke her heart. Yeah, same feeling, Deborah. And you guys, have you heard this? That actually Alan Levi is in the middle of writing a new book.
Yes.
And guess what it's called?
Ellen.
It's Ellen of Golden.
I can't wait to
Oh my goodness.
read that.
If any of you loved Ellen as much as I loved Ellen, you're going to be so excited to hear that this new book is in the works. And we're going to learn even more about her story, which I absolutely love. All right, here is a quote that I love. Sadness can make us bitter or wise. We get to choose.
I also
Okay.
underline that one.
Yeah.
That is
Yep.
very true.
Yes.
What does that mean in this book?
there is so much sadness over so many things.
Yeah.
Be it the individual's fault or circumstances that they've arrived in or otherwise. And, this actually comes up as he's talking to, I underlined it, to Asher. He's talking to Asher, and he's being very philosophical. But I love the part, one of the things and the reason I love Mignette is so many things that happened in her life that were by choice. She had made choices, and she shared those with Theo, who was a complete stranger at the time. And she was so forgiving and so great, but she could never forgive herself. And so I think that a lot of things in our life are by choice. We can choose to be happy, we can choose to be bitter, we can choose to be sad. But it's the choices we make that shapes us into a person.
Yeah, it sure does.
I would love to know, okay, Diane has a comment that she said her favorite quote was, "Everybody's got a story. Most folks just need someone to listen long enough to tell it."
Yeah, that one is
yes.
great.
I love that.
Yes, and that's exactly
I'm
what
totally
Theo
with
did.
you on that. He saw each person as an individual,
he
didn't
did.
he?
Yes.
And I got to tell you a quick little story because this is something that I read this book. Boy, when did like just right after Christmas, and we were going on a trip. Mike and I and Kim and Ryan, we went on a trip to Hawaii. It was much needed. It was so relaxing, and we were gone for just a few days. And something happened to me there that completely changed the way I viewed life a little bit, even more so. And I don't know if it would have resonated had I not read this book. And I'll tell you what it was. And it may seem so simple, but that's kind of the beauty of this story, is it is so simple. So we're walking along this busy area, shopping area, and there was a gentleman there, a Hawaiian, that was just in his street clothes, and he was playing the guitar and singing a song. Now, for those of you who have read Theo of Golden, you're going to go right to that moment when Theo recognized a street singer, a street performer, and what did he do? He stopped and he listened, right? Everyone else is going in every which direction, fast paced, trying to get here and there. No one's really paying attention to the street singer. And all of a sudden I went, here is somebody I need to pay attention to. He needs for a moment for somebody to look him in the eye and go, wow, I love what you're doing. Thank you for performing for all of us to enjoy. So I stood there, and Mike's like, "Are you coming?" And I go, in just a moment. Just stay with me here, and let's listen to him. So we listened, and again looked him in the eye. And when it was over, I clapped. Nobody else was clapping, right? I'm clapping, and I put a few dollars in his little tray. There was this unspoken bond between the street performer and myself. I felt it. And it was like he was wanting to say thank you. It was unspoken, but I know he felt that. And it actually was Theo that had inspired me to do what I did. And now I view things a little bit differently as I meet people and as I see people, and I want to listen to their story more. Don't you feel the same?
That's
Yes.
an incredible experience, Kris.
It was.
I know.
because
She texted me that right after it happened, and I begged her to tell it today.
Yeah,
I'm
so
like,
glad
you know
you
what?
did.
That is
Yeah.
I think what Alan Levi or Levy wanted us to do with this book.
I know I'm
Yeah.
different by reading the story.
Yeah.
By reading
my
this
goodness.
book.
Anyway,
So.
you guys I feel the same way here, and Janet is very excited to read Ellen of Golden. Kathy shares, Kris, I felt the same way and stopped and listened to some street players in Spain last week. It was uplifting and inspiring.
Yeah.
Isn't that so true, Kathy? And how these street performers, most of them just don't have a whole lot, right? And they're just putting this out there, and they're hoping that someone will pay attention. They're hoping that someone will just stop and listen for a moment.
And hear them.
And hear them.
And hear them.
Right.
And recognize that they are individuals in this world
But you know,
that have a purpose.
The beauty of that whole message is that it doesn't have to be a street performer.
No.
Every single person wants to be heard, wants to be thought about, listened to, and considered that they are valuable in this world. And I think that's what Theo taught us.
Yeah.
Right.
He taught us
Such
to
a beautiful
stop
book.
and smell the roses,
Kind of stop
basically.
and smell the roses.
Yep.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
You know, all of this started with some portraits on the wall.
Yeah.
Right. And they had been up there for a long time.
Yes.
I mean, you know, and that was the thing, is they had been up there for a long time and nobody wanted them. Even
Yeah.
people that recognized themselves on the wall
Yes.
did not buy their own portraits.
Yes.
And
Yeah,
it was,
they were for sale,
Yeah,
but
they
nobody
were.
bought them.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, and they were for sale cheap. I mean, you
Yeah.
know, Theo couldn't believe what he was selling them
Yeah.
for. I mean, you know, he's
Yeah.
buying them for
Yeah.
a song.
Yeah.
And so it makes you think. You know, I loved the reporter too. You know, when he gifted her portrait, and she says,
Yeah.
"I always saw myself as the fat kid."
Yeah.
I mean, that's what
Yeah.
she called. I was the
Yes.
fat, lonely little kid, and I'm going to take this home.
Yeah.
And look at this. Or the other one that resonated with me was, remember when he bought the portrait and couldn't find Clarice?
Oh,
Yes.
that's right.
And then he got a letter from her and says, "I need you to destroy that portrait because I've moved on and I'm a different person,
It's not the
and
same.
I don't want,
That's
you know,
right.
I don't want to be that person anymore." And that, even that is touching.
Yeah.
And he honored her wishes.
Agreed.
And did that.
Agreed.
I don't know.
It was beautiful.
Yes.
Lots
It
of
was.
stories that come together
Yes.
in the
Right.
end, and come together in such a beautiful way.
Yes.
And yeah, I'm so happy that it was read. Thank you, Allison, for the recommendation. You're the one who
it was
recommended
You're the
it
one that
to
read.
me.
You're the one that read it.
And
so.
I said, okay, let's do this. This is the
Yeah.
perfect story.
Well, and Lynn says, Kris, you are blessed to be a blessing.
Oh,
that is
that's
so
so
sweet.
sweet.
Thank you,
It's
Lynn.
very true.
That is very, very kind. Thank you. That means a lot. And okay, one last question. When we experience grief, which many did in this, not that this is a sad book.
No,
I
it's
want
not.
you to
I
know
think
there's
it's
lots
hopeful.
of,
It
there's
is,
hope.
yes.
Do you overcome grief, or does grief shape you to be the person you are today?
Wow.
Oh,
That's an interesting question to
Yes.
think about.
Yep.
Because each of these people, did they overcome their grief?
no.
Not
No,
necessarily.
you always remember that.
Yeah.
I think it shapes you.
But it shapes
It makes you become something different. It
Yeah.
transforms you into
Yeah.
someone else. And maybe also, it also helps you relate to someone else that might be going through the same things in life.
Exactly.
Right.
I think if we could all take a step back and realize that the person who perhaps even cut us off in traffic, or the person who kind of just got under our skin a little bit on a certain day, if we could all take a deep breath and just go, you know what? Everyone's got a story. We don't know
right.
what that person has been through or what they're currently going through, and we give each other
Or
grace.
about to go
Right.
through.
Or about to go
Right.
through. If we could each do that, I think the world would be a better place.
You know, it leads
So-
me to my last little quote that says, "Sadness can make us bitter or wise. We get to choose." And it's like we own all the world's hurts together.
Together.
Yes, we
Together.
I love that.
do. We're all here together.
Yeah.
I love that. Oh
too.
my goodness. Yeah, Donna shares what resonated with her was how we can influence someone's life and not even know, and how
Right.
true that is. All right, friends. Well, we could talk for a long time about this book, couldn't we?
Yes.
So let's continue the discussion. Why not? You know, share some of your thoughts and feelings, whether it's posted down below on Facebook or YouTube, or if you want to, you know, be a part of a discussion on the Friends of My Girlfriend's Facebook page. We'd love to hear, because there's so much more to the story.
Yes,
Just
there
promise
is.
me, no
Don't-
spoilers.
No spoilers,
We
yes.
don't want to give
Yeah.
spoilers, because the end is really amazing. He's in the middle of reading it, and he said it just sounds like there's a lot of short stories. I said, yeah, there
Yeah.
kind of is, but then wait till the end and it all
Right.
comes together. It's just amazing. So anyway, all right, friends. Well, as I mentioned before, it all started with portraits found in the local coffee shop. So you ready for a project inspired by that very theme? Well, stick around and we'll be back in just a moment. The cathedral window.
It is so fun. Just a regular square. You're gonna fold it in half. Zhoop, zhoop. Those two seams kiss. I like to sew over the seam and then stop. We have a square. Now we need to turn that right side out. You do not want to see those ugly seams. So we're going to flip it over and we are going to pull all of the points into the middle. So this is like making your cootie catchers when you were a kid.
I remember those.
So I have 4 of them. So I'm gonna do a 4 patch and I'm just going to fold these 2 up. You're just gonna sew right down here. Inner cathedral windows. I'm going to fold my flaps back. You're going to sew this down and just stitch across each of these points. So this will go here. Because these are tacked down, you're going to be able to roll this back.
So fun.
And look at what starts to happen.
What?
Obviously, you're gonna sew all of those down, and that's what you end up with.
Wow.
Welcome to Galas, the ultimate 3.5-day creative retreat from my girlfriend's quilt shop. Come stitch, learn, and connect under the stars with hours of open sew time just for you. Each day brings inspiring demonstrations, new ideas, and techniques to spark your next masterpiece. Plus, you'll be able to rub shoulders with our seasoned sewing veterans that you know and love. Work on your own projects, share stories with fellow makers, and create memories that last long after the final stitch. Enjoy exclusive gifts, fun surprises, and a creative community that feels like family. Join us at Galas in beautiful Logan, Utah. 3 days, your projects, endless inspiration, where creativity shines bright. To learn more, click the link below or go to mygirlfriendsquiltshop.com and sign up today.
It's that little push to learn a little bit more.
Hey friends, over the last couple weeks, we've been getting your springtime fun ready on 3 Themes Live.
There have been so many adorable and easy to make projects to dress up your home.
Plus, we guide you through each project so you can feel like a pro and truly enjoy the creative process.
See my lashes? We've made quilts, pillows, baskets, and so much more. Click the links below to make sure you don't miss a thing.
I would love to be part of your tribe.
Watch us live every Monday through Wednesday at 1 p.m. Mountain or 3 p.m. Eastern on Facebook and YouTube.
But you are gonna be a superstar when you do this.
Remember that 3 Things Live is where we always have something to make you smile
Something to learn.
and something to discover.
Let's go. You're gonna love how easy this is.
I have always really liked the Hunter Star.
Yep.
Let's show you how to do
Okay.
it. These are the ones that we're gonna make for a 12-inch block.
Okay.
So that's a B, and you're gonna cut that off. Then you're gonna take that smaller block and you're gonna cut it this side, and then you're gonna turn it, and you're gonna cut it again and look like that.
Oh.
And then you've got one of these on, and they're gonna go different directions.
Wow.
Line it up, and it lines up absolutely perfect.
Yeah, it does.
Then we're gonna end up with one that looks like this, okay? What you're gonna do is you're gonna take one of your triangles from your squares that you had, and you're going to attach it right here.
Wow.
You're gonna take this one here with the other one that you have, a whole bunch of other ones, and you're gonna sew them together, and your other one's gonna go here. So here's your 4 right here.
I love that. We're calling it the right side up banister quilt. I just want to kind of, take you through how we do pre-cut, pre-fused kits. They have like little tick marks, and all you have to do is a little snip with your scissors. That's it. Very easy, and it comes right out. With these pre-cut, all you have to do is just peel off the back. All right, you've got your fusible there. And then
So if I iron
you're just
this,
gonna place it right there.
if I iron this and it doesn't stick, I need to just go make sure I peeled off the backing.
Yeah. Are you asking for a friend?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're just putting it right inside those lines. Pretty
They
darn
match up
good.
really good.
They do. So very, very easy to do. We hope you are as excited as we are about this. All right, welcome back everyone to Three Themes Live. I'm Kris.
I'm Jacki.
And I'm Allison.
And we're here to talk about a project inspired by Theo of Golden. And so I'm really excited to be able to share with you what was created, because the inspiration was definitely, it had to be the portraits, right?
Yes.
Right.
There's just something about a portrait that you look into the soul. And I think, I don't know if this is taking it too far, but the portraits were like pencil drawings.
Right.
And they were, more pencil, charcoal drawings. And I think there's something to be said about being able to see a picture in black and white.
Yes.
Why do you think that is, Allison?
I feel like in black and white, it evokes your own memories and your own feelings, and you're able to kind of fill in the color. And so it just feels really earthy and sincere to me.
A little more raw,
Right.
Perhaps that you're not getting, sidelined by color and stuff, but you're just looking right into the core of that person.
You see it differently.
You do see it differently.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. And so what I decided to do was I wanted to be able to do a little bit of sublimation, because I love sublimation, but also show you how you could do it with hand embroidery. And for those of you who have even like fancy machines that will do scanning and turn something into machine embroidery, you could do that too. But hopefully the ideas I share with you today will inspire any of the above. All right, so let's first talk about if you do not have a sublimation printer and you wanted to be able to sketch something by hand. And when I say by hand, I'm talking doing hand embroidery, okay?
Yes.
Here's an idea of what you could do. Let's take a look at my little light board right here. I've got my Caterpillar, right? And I was able to, maybe my battery's dead on that. I was able to take this drawing, and I created this drawing of my grandmother, and I did it from a tool that we call ChatGPT. All right, folks, love it or hate it, AI is here to stay, so this is going to be one way of being able to do this.
Right.
I took a regular photograph and put it in there, and I'll show you kind of the steps of how to do that. So if my light board were on, I could actually, but you can see through this pretty well.
You can see it pretty good.
That what you could do is trace some of these more distinct features. So obviously the glasses are going to be a big deal, right?
Right.
The nose, I'm just, again, tracing these lines. And of course, we've got to have a little bit of depth into her face, her lips, and so forth. Now, when you see all this hair, you might think, oh, that's a little overwhelming. Do I have to draw on all that hair? Well, it's up to you.
Right.
But you don't have to. But you can certainly try doing a few swoops here, a swoop down here, and you start penciling this out. Then what you would do is you take your embroidery floss, put this in a hoop, and you're able to hand embroider. Wouldn't that be beautiful?
Just with a running stitch or a back stitch.
Oh, I love that idea.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's one idea. Now, let me show you, for those who've never used ChatGPT, or if you're not aware of it, or maybe you are aware of it but didn't think about using it for something like this. Let's take you to my phone. You could do this on a computer as well, but I will go ahead and pull up Chat. And it says right here to ask ChatGPT. So I'm going to say, let's see, I'm going to put in this prompt. Make this photo look like a pencil sketch drawing, okay? And then I'm going to go to my photos and find Grandma's photo right there, and it uploads it right there. Okay, so everyone can see, make this photo look like a pencil sketch drawing, put in Grandma's photo, and let's see what shows
While we are
up.
doing, let's pick on Jacki for just a second. Okay, do you remember, you and I have discovered and been using ChatGPT for a little bit. Do you remember the day that we burst Jacki's bubble and she realized that we had not been using our creative genius minds to do this? And she's like, what? And we were showing her, do you remember that?
I do
It was
remember.
hilarious because
Right.
Jackie's like, what do you mean you didn't come up with that description all on your own? And I'm like, wow, no, I just put it into ChatGPT. So Jacki and I put a meeting into ChatGPT and it printed her out the meeting minutes and made them full sentences.
I literally, it
And
was.
you were blown
I
away.
We
was.
were blown away.
Yeah.
I was blown away. I still am blown away because I don't think to go there.
Right.
Right.
But this is,
But-
look at this, you guys. Look
Isn't
what
that
just
amazing?
So
came
cool.
through. Isn't that something?
That is.
Yes.
That is a pencil line drawing.
It
Now,
feels like cheating.
it does feel like
Yes.
cheating, but it's not. I mean, I
No.
just went ahead and used AI to my advantage. Now, on this, I was able to create some pretty cool things, all right? So this is just one example. There's an app that I really like as well. It's called Colorify. So if you look for Colorify, it will make your photos into coloring book pictures, into all
fun.
kinds of things. So
Okay.
it's pretty fun. But take a look. Isn't that the cutest? This is Mike and I and our grandson. Not too long ago, we were
That is so
together.
cute.
Like by not too
now
long ago.
This is a
3
photo.
days ago.
Yeah, it was a photo that I was able to, print out. I did it on my Sublimation printer. I printed it onto canvas, put it in this frame, and now this is a keeper. Now the photo itself is so sweet, but there's something about the black and white image,
Yeah.
right?
Yes, I agree.
All right, let's take another look at, this is a photo that I also sublimated, and I'm now combining a little bit of sublimation with handwork, with hand embroidery. And so you can see here that this was a picture I had taken of Rachel,
Cute
and she was, for any of you who are local, you know that there's these beautiful poppy fields
Yes.
in Manaway, which isn't too far from here. And so I said, wouldn't it be cool to take this photograph, and it looks a little ski-wampus here because of my embroidery hoop, but this was a black and white photo. I created it into a black and white photo, but I wanted the color of the poppies still. And so what I'm doing right now is I'm in the process of creating hand stitches. I don't know if Abby can get up a little closer on that shot.
That's so
but this whole field pretty soon is all going to be hand stitched.
How
Oh,
beautiful.
that's gonna be
yeah,
so
that's so
Isn't
gorgeous.
that? And
Yes.
it's going to be with the greens of the grass, the poppies, the orange poppies, and it will have little bits of yellow for the dandelions that were in the field. Now this becomes more like artwork,
Right.
right?
Yes.
And I could frame that and have that, be a part of our home. Now, the other thing that you can do with AI, like I said, you could make it into a pencil sketch drawing, or you could have something a little bit more cartoon-like, and that's the look I was going for with this.
And you did this in that app.
I did it in that app, yep. So this was a photo. In fact, I have the original photo right here of Rachel and I. I was able to do this with heat transfer vinyl.
Oh my word.
And with this, that was able to go on here. In fact, I have a quick little 1-minute video to show you, and I'll talk you through it. So as you can see here, I was using my Scan and Cut to help me do this.
Yay.
I'm weeding, and I was a little nervous about weeding at first because I thought, oh my goodness, that's a lot of lines to weed out. It actually was so incredibly simple. And I just pulled out the extra bits. I added it to a Kimberbow blank. I have my heat transfer, or my heat press, I should say. Place that back into the heat press. It goes for, I think it was like 30 seconds was all that it took. Pull it back out, lift it up ever so carefully. I did the zoop zoop, right?
Nice.
Right.
And then turned it right side out, filled it with an old pillow I had just laying around, zipped it up, And now I had the perfect little pillow to go on my couch
Oh,
in my
fun.
sewing room.
So that's so fun.
And now I have a little part of her
Right.
there.
I love that.
Isn't that
Yes.
great?
That would be so
She'll be
fun.
glad to know she's back in her old room.
The one I took over.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So
Oh,
that's
I could
kind
see
of
you
cool.
doing that with a pet.
Yes,
You know, and doing
exactly.
a pet for someone that,
Exactly.
especially if they lose that pet.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be a great
memory
gift?
to have,
Oh,
right?
Yes.
Here is one that I made for, this
I'm
is a
trying to
picture of
get it-
Kim
oh.
and our dad. And I just loved this picture
Look
so
how
much.
fun.
And look at
It's
the
the
frame.
light. I
It
love the
actually
light.
lights up.
Isn't that so sweet?
Again, it would have been a great picture all on its own, full color, it would have been fine, but there's something about seeing the sketching and the dark eyes and everything coming in between.
You get the
So,
feeling.
Yes.
Okay, that's what you see.
Maybe that's what
Okay,
it was
it's
missing
the feeling.
before.
It's
right.
Yeah, where the color, you're just kind of, oh, that's
You
nice.
focus on the color.
Exactly.
But you're actually focusing on the feeling that
Yeah.
you feel when you look at that.
Yeah, absolutely. And so this is one of those keepsakes that I know my dad is going to absolutely love and
Yeah.
cherish. And he can have that in his office with this lit up, and
That's
it's going to be
great.
beautiful.
I love
I
that.
was able to take this image of my mom on her 77th birthday.
Oh, fun.
I loved the way
Aw.
she was just so happy. We've got the number 77 there, and I put it onto a mug, right?
And you can see.
And you
that
can
she-
see it.
That
The
she's
joy in her
happy.
face,
Yes.
yep.
So I want to share with you quickly how this picture is now going to go onto a tote. So again, this was Sublimation, and I loved this picture of my daughter and her 3 sister-in-laws. I thought it
Oh,
was
that's
so
so
sweet.
cute.
And so this is going to go on a bag for their mom, which is Jessica's
Mother-in-law.
Mother-in-law,
Okay.
yes, right? So
Yes.
all you have to do this is you're going to take this picture and place it right side down and put a little bit of heat-resistant tape, and then we're going to press it. So Allison, you go ahead and, are you going to bring me over the
Yeah, I'm
tape?
gonna just hand
There
you
we
the
go.
tape.
I'm going to put it off to the side. I want the look of it being off to the side. So their mom is a high school teacher.
Oh, fun.
And I thought, you
fun
know
book
what?
tag.
These are her 3 daughters and her daughter-in-law, her favorite daughter-in-law, right? The only daughter-in-law she has.
Yeah.
And I'm going to gift that to her. So
I'm
let's
so
see
excited.
how simple this is to do.
Oh, that's
you
fun.
put it on for about 30 seconds is all.
Okay.
30 to 60 seconds. Let's go
okay.
ahead
Okay.
and add some heat to that. And Allison, let's go ahead and turn it sideways so that,
There we go. So
Yeah.
that covers the whole thing,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Perfect.
But-
We're going to watch
but
it. I set it
let's-
for 60 seconds.
let's
so-
put some
Oh,
pressure on
you
it.
pressure?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Now,
wanna-
for everybody that's been
Yeah.
asking, I sublimated my sweatshirt,
Which
and
is
I
so
just
cute.
did it just off of a picture that I found on the internet, sent it into Word, and
It's
did
so
exactly the same
cute.
thing. I never put pressure on mine, Kris. I just
Oh,
put
really?
my heat press on.
Oh,
well,
wow.
your heat press has this,
Yeah, it's a little bit heavy. So.
yeah.
Yeah.
So-
So if I had my other heat press from home, it just creates
Comes
its own
down,
pressure,
right.
right? Okay, let's just peek at the edges before we lift the whole thing off, making sure. Oh, yes. Oh, this looks so good.
Yay!
So good. Oh my gosh. Okay, are you guys ready? Are you ready?
Yes.
Are you ready for this?
Here we
Let's
go.
see. Let's pull it up. We're going to bring the camera right over so you can see it in real time. Look at that.
Isn't
Isn't
that so
that
fun?
so cool?
That is,
I love that. She's going to love that as
Yes,
well.
she will.
So
Yes.
very, very fun and very simple to do. And now she has a personalized tote bag. So basically what I want to share are a few key themes here is that we can create black and white images. We can create the sketch drawings to look just like the picture, but now a little bit more feeling in it with the
Yes,
black and white,
right.
right? And we can do that through just printing on regular paper and drawing it and doing some handwork. We could do it if we have software for an embroidery machine. We can actually scan it in and be able to digitize it that way. We could do it with vinyl. right?
Yes.
On our scan and cut.
Yes.
And we could also do it with sublimation, which is
I love it.
our love.
We
All three of us
all
love
it.
our sublimation, right?
Yes.
So I think the idea here is I want everyone to know that there are individuals in our lives who are very important, and sometimes they are perhaps like the unsung heroes. And if you were to ask me about the people in this room right now, they are the ones who always are trying to make us look good.
Yes.
But I do want them to know that I recognize them as individuals too. So in the spirit of
I'm getting
Theo of Golden,
Oh.
shout out to Miss Shelby.
Oh, look how. Oh.
Here you go, my friend.
Oh, my
Let's hold
word.
these. Shout out to Miss Abby.
Oh, that's a
that's
gorgeous
so
picture.
Cute.
That.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful picture, Abby, of you.
Shout out to Eric.
Oh. That's actually Eric. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you said. Oh, sorry.
And to Hal.
Cute.
These people do so much work behind the scenes. You guys have no idea. And then Steve, who's behind the camera. All of these were done with sublimation. All of them were printed onto canvas.
They're gorgeous,
I-
Kris. Absolutely beautiful.
Those are really neat.
I got to tell you, I had the opportunity of interviewing each and every one of them recently, but just one-on-one. We had the best conversations. And it's amazing how when you recognize that each of these people have a story in their lives, you recognize that they're real people with real feelings, with real families. And it honestly, that time that I met with them made me look at them. I always really liked them, always, but I really, really like these people. They're really, they're my kind of people in life. And I just wanted to share that with each of you and
that's
recognize
sweet.
these people. So
That's sweet.
anyway, that is what we have
Abby's
for
got the
today.
confetti. Isn't that
That's great.
gorgeous?
Yeah.
All the love, my
All the
friends.
love.
All the love.
Those are way fun.
Definitely think about how you can honor some of the special people in your life as well, whether it's through a project or whether it's just sitting down with them for an afternoon and listening to their story. So, all right, friends. Well, that's all for theme number 2. We'll be back in just a moment to wrap things up for theme number 3.
It's that little push to learn a little bit more.
Remember that 3 Things Live is where we always have something to make you smile
Something to learn.
and something to discover.
Love how easy this is. Let's go.
Take the tea towels a step further, right?
Yep.
So what you do first is you're going to cut your 2 pieces and you're going to cut your batting, and then you're going to take also your piece that goes down the center of it. I have put Heat and Bond Light on the back side of the ribbon, and you will apply it to one of your front pieces. So this piece now is what I'm going to be working with. I'm going to take batting. I actually cut my piece bigger than what it tells you on the instructions, and you can just quilt the whole top of it. Then I'm going to take my back piece, I'm going to put right sides together, also all the way around. I will turn it, I press it really good, and then I do a 1/4 inch around the outside. I put a cute little button on the top of
I
this
think the
one.
button's cute though.
Then I'm going to put right sides together, and I'm going to sew down the center to hold it. So then when I'm done, it's going to go like this.
I love that.
Isn't that so easy?
Welcome back, everyone, to 3 Themes Live. Theme number 3. We were supposed to share our recent aha golden moments, and what did you guys just say?
We can't.
We can't top thing number 2. We just
Or
can't.
the whole feeling that we have had
Right.
today, you know.
Yeah.
So the thing that we've discovered is our feelings of the feelings.
Right.
And all of the feelings that we're feeling. How's
We
that?
discovered we can feel feelings.
Yes. Yes.
No, we just want to give a big shout out to all of you, those of you that participated, those of you that are going to participate, those of you that join us now or join us on the live. We see you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We hear your stories. We love you. We appreciate you.
We do.
And we just think that's a perfect way to end.
Yes.
Yeah,
Agreed.
So you all have a wonderful rest of the day. You keep doing all the things you love, and we hope to see you again real soon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.